Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know I'm back with more Godzilla x Kong and stuff like that, but what I'm going to be doing in this video, I know I did a semi breakdown in my trailer video. You can go check it in the description, but in this video I'm going to be completely breaking down the images of the trailer and all other things in it, and my own personal theories of what will happen. So let's begin. Okay, so I think this part is when I think this is when Shimu or Shimu, I can't say the Titan's name right, but I think this is the scale of when her and Kong are fighting, and as you can clearly see, it starts to go off the rails, meaning a Titan is coming. Now this part, I think, is another entrance to the Hollow Earth, because we have one in Antarctica, which we saw in Godzilla vs. Kong, but I think this one is a completely new entrance, and it's accessible by water. So I think that's why Monarch built this outpost, because they got outposts all over the globe with other Titans and entrances to the Hollow Earth. So I think this is just a completely new entrance to the Hollow Earth. So I think that's what's going on here.
Most of human civilization.
I think this is the beginning of Shimu's or Kong's fight, because I know it will. I think the final battle or midway battle is going to take place in Egypt. Like the fight between Kong and Shimu is going to happen in Egypt. I know that's going to happen for a fact. So I think this is just the beginning of Kong's and Shimu's fight.
We believe that life can only exist on the surface.
Now this part, this is obviously Shimu and Kong fighting, and they're coming out of the Hollow Earth. That's why the ground's caving in. So this is just the beginning of them coming out of the Hollow Earth, and Shimu and Kong are still fighting. Which explains why Kong's arm comes up, and we'll get more on Kong's new I'm not sure if you could call it a prosthetic hand or a freaking gauntlet or something like that. Whatever the case, I'll get to it later. Okay, now this part, you can see Kong, and I learned now that these things are, well, I didn't really call them marsupial lions. I said they looked like marsupial lions, but I know now that the things that are chasing him are called death jackals. So I think Kong must have angered the death jackals, or Kong entered Scar King's territory, and I know for a fact everyone is saying this, that Scar King can control other Titans. So I think these are his guard dogs, and he sent them after Kong because he's in his area, and there's too many of them, and now he's running from them, as you can clearly see. Now this part, I think it is a few minutes after Kong escaped the Death Jackal pack, and they're just settling down, and they're getting ready to explore the uncharted or unknown parts of the Hollow Earth.
Than we could possibly imagine.
Now this part, everyone thought that he was about to fight Scar King, but we already know what's going to happen. But I think this is right after Kong escaped the Death Jackals. He has his axe now, I think because he equipped it from his lair or something like that. And he escaped the Death Jackals, he has his axe now, and he's in this mist part, mountains of the Hollow Earth, and he sees this big shadow come towards him, but as you can clearly see, it's not. So I think this ape, I don't know for a specific name for it yet or any of that sort of matter, but I think that this ape, this little one, escaped from where the other apes and Scar King is, and he sees Kong, and he's looking up at Kong because he's afraid that Kong's gonna hurt him. He's one of frickin' Scar King's apes, but as you know, Kong bows to no one, so he's nobody's ape. So, and Kong, his friggin' heart melts seeing this little ape and another ape for the very first time since the events of his parents getting killed by the skull crawlers. So I think this little ape is gonna take Kong to where the other apes and Scar King is.
What is that?
This is obvious. You can obviously see in the background their new ship is open. I think everyone says that ship is the new. Oh, almost knocked my microphone over. Sorry about that. It's the new and advanced Hev, or whatever you call it, from Godzilla vs. Kong, and it's more advanced, so you don't need to worry about it getting crushed underneath the way gravity works in the Hollow Earth. And they just stepped out, and they see this handprint, and they know right away that's not Kong. And I think this is like way after Kong escaped the Death Jackals. He's already behind that mountain. He encountered the ape, and I think this is when the humans are trying to catch up to him.
That's not Kong.
Now, I think in this part, they just haven't added it in the trailer yet. Little ape is going to be on Kong's back, because he's taking him to Scar King, because I think, Little ape mentions that there's more apes, and Kong wants to see where the others are, because he's been alone for so long that he wants to see more of his kind. So that's why I think in this scene, they edited it out because it's the trailer, but I think the little ape will be on Kong's back while he's scaling down those cliffs and lands into here. Now where he's standing is obviously the Hollow Earth's energy, but it's also a pathway to where Scar King and the other apes are. Now with the purple crystal here and here, well, yeah, here and here, I'll get more into that later, but Kong has his axe activated. He's looking around,
Look at it.
and he comes across these, and he's probably going to be shocked, like, why is there more ape skulls down here? Who's doing all of this? So that prompts him more to see the other apes. And this part is just Kong. This is Kong's point of view. He's looking down. He can see more apes. Yeah, he's standing right over there. Look. There's an entrance right there, and he's standing right there, because you can see a small little speck right there beside him. So I think this is Kong just entering where all these other apes are. And I think this is when Scar King first gets word that Kong is here, and well, I'm not gonna say Kong because they probably don't know his name, but an unknown ape is here, and this is the look that he gives, which is absolutely terrifying. Obviously a continuation of the Death Jackal chase. So right here, he jumps over the cliff, he's gonna go into that mountain range, and he's gonna find the little ape. So I think this is right before Kong meets the little ape. So he's running from the Death Jackals, and if you look at his back, you can see a line. So I think he's obviously carrying his axe, but he can't fight all the Death Jackals one-on-one because there's too many of them. Well, one against many, because there's too many Death Jackals for him to fight. Now this part, I think the Monarch team has ran into a, you can see Bernie and the Dan Stevens' new character, Trapper, standing in the middle there, and there's a bunch of new Iwis and stuff, because that's what I heard, and there's pyramid stuff, so I think that these are worshippers of Shimu or Shimu. They're Iwis that worship either Scar King or Shimu. It's one of the two, and I think Shimu is in this big crystal here. That's what I think. Like, you can see that behind Bernie and behind Trapper that these are not regular spears. They're not. They're ice. That is pure ice. And they're using ice as spears. So I think, like I said, these Iwis worship Shimu, which explains that big energy. Yeah, I think in here, Shimu is there, because you can see a head. I didn't notice that before, but you can see spikes, you can see a head. If you look to the left, you will see a head, and then it goes down, and then you can see a little bit of spikes, and then there's a tail. I didn't notice that. Well, now I do. Holy crap. Now this part, I think it's gonna show a fight between either Godzilla or Skillia. I can't pronounce that name, but it prompts Godzilla to go to the Arctic or Antarctic to evolve, because I think she's going to injure him so badly that he has to go and rest, get revived, get as much radiation as he can, and evolve.
Kong can't stop this on it.
This part is, I think this is when Kong discovers all the apes, and he's sad in it that he sees all of them living like this, and he wants to know why. Living in fear, living in slavery, so he wants to know why. That's why he doesn't look angry, he doesn't look like he's ready for a fight. He looks sad because his kind is being treated like a bunch of slaves, and that doesn't sit well with Kong. Now I think Gina here is calling for Godzilla. Now that may, you guys may not think that's true, because I think that she's doing it because it's Magneta looking radiation energy, and she's touching it, and I know she can tell when Godzilla or any other Titan is coming, and she can hear their heartbeat. So I think in this scene she's calling out to Godzilla, because as you can clearly see from the other scene, Kong can't fight this on his own. So she went up that pyramid, touched that radiation energy, and called out to Godzilla for help.
You won't be alone.
And I think this is why Godzilla wakes up instantly, because he can hear Gina's call for help, and Godzilla and Kong are on good terms now because they saved each other in the last movie, and now they have peace with each other. So Godzilla hears Gina's calls, immediately wakes up. He immediately breaks out of the ice and lets all the other Titans know that the king of the monsters has returned, and he's calling out to Kong to let him know that he's coming. So I think that's why he's roaring. He's letting his presence be known. He's letting Kong know that he's coming. He's coming to help him. Oh. Let me backtrack that a bit. Okay, so this part, an ape, like I said, an ape informs Scar King that an unknown ape has arrived, and he's sitting there on his throne, and then he gives that terrible glare like he did it in the before in the trailer to that ape, and then he crawls towards he crawls to here. That's where he goes. And as you can clearly see, Kong is in the middle there between those two apes. He has no idea what's going on. He has no idea why they're living in fear. And Kong is looking straight at Scar King. No fear, none of that. And these apes are petrified of him. Like, look at them. They're looking up at Scar King in fear. One is starting to bow down in the left side of this image, and on the right side, two others are doing that too. Now this part is when he roars and lets all the apes bow to him, but not Kong. Kong stands there and looks at he's probably gonna look around confused, like, why are they all bowing to him? Like, and then obviously a fight is going to engage between Scar King and Kong, and obviously Kong's gonna lose because he can't fight Scar King on his own. And a lot of people are saying that Scar King is gonna either dislocate his arm or break his arm. So I think Scar King is roaring at Kong, and Kong is obviously going to roar back because he doesn't bow to anyone. So this scene here is obviously Scar King and Kong about to fight. Now this is when Scar King is above because I heard rumors that he wants to take over the top world. And if you can look to the right here at the ocean, it's freezing. So obviously Shimu is there with him, and he's roaring at all the humans. He's showing off his presence. He's showing how tall he is, how intimidating he is, and he's doing that just for fun. And you can see all the people running for their damn lives, even though it's probably pointless because he's probably going to crush them all. Anyway. This part is, in my theory, that this is the fight between Godzilla, Kong, and Shimu. I think Godzilla's either gonna beat Shimu till she snaps out of it, or resubmits to Godzilla as the king of the monsters. It's gonna be one of the two, and Kong's gonna be there with him. That's why he's there, and he's roaring at Godzilla, and they're both going to team up to fight Shimu. This is the fight between Godzilla, Kong, and Shimu. This part is back in the Hollow Earth. This is... I can't find a perfect HD picture of them. Here we go, I'll just go with this. So, this is... Kong has his new gauntlet there to keep his arm intact and properly healed because, like I said before, Scar King breaks or fractures his arm and he can't use it naturally. So that's why I think Monarch builds him this like gauntlet, or punching his fuck, what you call it? It's just something that makes his punches more powerful. That's why he has it, because Scar King broke his arm, and he can't fight. He can't punch with it naturally. Otherwise, it's probably gonna break or get even worse. So this is after, because you can clearly see in the back that it's sunny and stuff. So I think this is Godzilla and Kong charging at Scar King. He might have other Titans with him. He might not. We won't know till we get a second trailer for Godzilla x Kong, and full on shows maybe Godzilla and Scar King, Godzilla, Kong, and Scar King fighting it out. So I think this scene is Godzilla and Kong running at Scar King Scar King has other Titans with him, and Godzilla and Kong are charging together to fight. And maybe Mothra might appear, because they did confirm that Mothra will be in the movie. So I think this scene will show Mothra, but obviously it's the first trailer. They're not going to show that. So I think she's going to be flying right above them, joining the fight with Kong and Godzilla. So guys, that was all my personal theories of what will happen in Godzilla x Kong. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.